Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy, Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another commentary. I've been watching competitive Call of Duty since Black Ops 1. I don't know how many years that is, 3 years, 4 years, whatever. I've been commentating and making videos about competitive Call of Duty for over a year now, and I have never in my 3 or 4 years watching competitive Call of Duty, I have never experienced a moment as gut-wrenching, tense, just heart-pumping, amazingly close as OpTic Gaming versus FaZe in the second best of fives in the grand finals, game 4, uplink on comeback. OpTic went from being 2 down, it was 2-0 in the second best of fives, and it looked like OpTic was going to lose, and then they won, and then they got up in this uplink game, and FaZe could have took it home. They could have won the tournament after this uplink game, but an amazing set of plays had OpTic down 10-4 or 10-5. So they were down by basically 3 goals. So they were down 10-5. It looked like it was over. There was a little over a minute left. People were like tweeting, GGs and FaZe is gonna win, and oh my gosh, I'm getting off Twitter before Aches gets a chance to tweet. And through a series of events, it was started by Crim6, like grabbed the ball, the satellite drone, the quaffle, as we call it here on my channel, and went down bottom and snuck underneath and got a 2-pointer, and then, or he threw it in, he threw one in, and then it was 10-6, and when it was 10-6, Benson was like, it's a 2-possession game. It was almost like watching a crazy close basketball game coming down to the wire. 40 seconds left, they score 2, they score another 2, and there's barely any time left, and Nadeshot is running the ball, and he realizes that he's going to get killed, so he goes to throw it out of bounds so that they could tie it up at 10-10, because it was 10-10 at this point. And instead of it going out of bounds, it like bounces off a building. Crim6 catches it, does some boost dodging, Scump provides protection, and Crim scores, and scores the go-ahead quaffle satellite drone uplink point, and it was like bananas. I just tweeted out "Let's go!" exclamation marks, and then I tweeted out "Woo woo!" I was screaming like killer. I mean, it was almost one of those moments. One of the few moments in competitive Call of Duty where I actually felt like I wanted to jump up out of my seat. I know that if I was watching it with anyone else, it would have been like watching, a buzzer beater. Like now, if you watch basketball, like when LeBron hit his buzzer beater 3 when there was like 2 seconds left against the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals when he was still on Cleveland. I mean, this was like one of those moments. I mean, they showed, Hitch showed some vines afterwards of OpTic fans literally jumping up and down in the crowd. Nevertheless, despite all of that, it came down to a Game 5 recovery S&D. That is just... Man, OpTic was able to get a recovery S&D off of one of the teams that they played. I believe it was Justice, but this recovery S&D, it was like the downfall of it. Was like, why did they keep having to play that map 5? So they went to recovery S&D, and Doug Sensor Martin went huge. You could tell that Aches, you could tell that this FaZe team wanted to win. They won a round that was very important for OpTic to win, and then they went up 5-3. OpTic won 1. They were up 5-4, and instead of it going to the 5-5 round 11 like we all wanted to see, it would have been reminiscent of COD champs in Black Ops 2, Envious versus Farico. I mean, crazy 2 best of 5s. It went down to round 10 of the second best of 5s in the last search and destroy, and Sensor went huge. I don't know how he lived. He was around the wall near the A-bomb, and he kept boosting out, and then he picked somebody and then went back in the corner and then came out and got a 2-piece, and I don't remember, I think it was Apathy that got the last kill. Everybody voted on Twitter that Slasher was actually the MVP of the event, and I have to agree. He was good in uplink, he was good in search, he was good in CTF, he was good slaying in HP in hardpoint. Slasher just played amazing. Aches now has 19 championships. 19 championships. And I have to say surprisingly, but I'm glad. You know, Aches on Twitter was really nice. That's the easiest way to describe it. Everybody was thinking that his ego was going to blow up and he was going to get on Twitter and just go crazy, but he was just like GG's. You know, GG's OpTic. I've won 19 times. I'm now the winningest player. You know, I am who I am was a quote that he said when he was interviewed. You know, he was happy. He said it was proved something to him because not playing with TP anymore and still being able to win a championship. I mean, this is a huge deal. Now, what I want to say about OpTic, because there's a lot of tweets that I'm getting that are just really ridiculous. People are saying, drop nade shot. Do you think Formal or Crim is going to leave? They got second place in the first tournament of the brand new Call of Duty game, and they lost in the last Search and Destroy, and they almost took it to the last round of the last Search and Destroy. You can't, the only closer they could have got to winning was to get into the next one round up, or one round, one Search and Destroy round. They got about as close as you could get to winning. And so stop all the nade shot hate. Like, please, you know, people call me an OpTic fanboy, nade shot fanboy, whatever. Look, here's what I'm saying. This team did extremely well. I still believe they're going to win one of the first 3 events. They walk out of here only, I think, like 8,000 or 9,000 pro points below FaZe for first place in the pro points. Now, that's just based on my speculation. I don't know. You know, Ron, I'm sure, will tweet out the actual pro points on Tuesday. But if I calculated right, FaZe is going to be ahead of OpTic by like 8,000. They're going to be 138,000 compared to 130,000. And so this was a successful event, in my opinion, for OpTic Gaming. Of course they wanted to win, and we all picked them to win. But, you know, I said it on my show, if Aches was going to win this year, it was going to be against OpTic Gaming. This dude has won every single tournament. I believe the first tournament in every game since like Black Ops 1 or something like that, or Black Ops 2. I mean, Aches is an amazing player. He proved that he doesn't need Teep, he doesn't need Crim, doesn't need Karma, and the people that were tweeting at me like, well, Crim did the exact same thing. Crim joined Scump and Formal. I mean, we were all expecting that Crim was going to do well with his roster. We were not expecting that Aches was going to win the first event, and they got into the finals down by 2 best-of-5s. I mean, whew, this was just a good tournament overall. My overall synopsis is great. I'm very impressed. I have fallen in love with Uplink after that Game 4. I have fallen in love with Uplink. It is an exciting game type to watch. They got to fix some of the stuff about it. There is a little bit of glitchiness to it, and there's like the way they do the overtime with, like, they do stopwatch like they would CTF. I mean, CTF is just hard to follow in this game. We'll do a full recap. I'll do a full recap of everything that happened in the tournament tomorrow on my show, The Sticks Live, or today for those of you that are watching this on Monday at 6:30 Eastern Time. And I'll recap everything. I'll talk about everything that happened and who was my MVP. And Hitch and Fatty will be on. And I'm not going to tell you who the guest is yet because we're kind of still working on it. We got a couple of angles we're trying to work, but you know, we try to get the best the best people we can on for you guys, especially after this event. I would say MLG Columbus was a success. They got up to 188,000 viewers. The stream was DDoSed twice, I believe. Right as they were getting close to 200K, the stream was DDoSed and it was offline for like 20 or 30 minutes. And so, but this was a good weekend overall. Shout outs to to Hitch. I believe he is probably going to pass me on Twitter pretty soon. I mean, he got a lot of content, you know, so subscribe to Hitch's channel. I'll put a link in the description. He's going to have mean tweets. He's going to have the MLG Columbus experience. He's going to have all kinds of content, vines. He's got GOAT chemistry video for OpTic Gaming. This was an amazing event. And shout out lastly to my boy Sharp. He dropped multiple 50 bombs. He was one of the best players in this event, low key. People didn't get to see as much of him because everybody's watching OpTic on stream, but you know, Sharp was easily one of the best players in this event, and so I expect big things from TK. We'll do a full recap, tell you guys who made the league spots and all that in the sticks tomorrow. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.